Walking that street, it gives it a sense of, instead of it being this place where the bad thing happened, it's now a place where the community is existing and people are living.
Now at 6, people in Sandy walking to regain their sense of safety and community after 3 people were shot and killed last month. We have more on how the community is looking out for each other after that tragedy coming up.
And longtime fixture in the Senate, Bob Packwood, has died at the age of 93. How local lawmakers are responding to his death just ahead.
Plus, the Fire starting off the month on the wrong foot after a crushing loss against LA Sparks. We'll bring you the game highlights coming up as your news at sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us. We will get to your weather in just a second, but first we want to head over to Chris McGinnis, who's got a traffic alert for us.
Yeah, guys, Portland Fire and Rescue dealing with an early morning house fire in the Lentz neighborhood. I'll step out of the way. Photojournalist Eric Patterson is on the scene. You can see the smoke there rising from that building. It appears that they've got that mostly under control, but we understand that they may have had to make at least one rescue here on the back side of the building. We are working to get more details on that, and we'll bring those to you right here on Sunrise as soon as we get them. In terms of the traffic impact and the location here, this is Lentz Park, and the fire and the house fire here is on Southeast Lieb Street, just west of Lentz Park, near the intersection with Southeast 87th Avenue. Again, we're working to get more details on this. We'll bring them to you just as soon as we have them. Back to your freeway drive. We're in pretty good shape. There's a quick look at the sunset zipping right along on Highway 26 near Sylvan. Interstate 84 looks good as well. And from that perspective, no unexpected freeway delays at this point, guys. We're off to a pretty good start. Rod, we'll pass it on over to you for that rainy forecast.
Yeah, good morning. This is the dry period of your day. Look at radar advancing light rain in the Newport and even down toward Eugene right now. Models show we could see raindrops in Portland as early as 8 o'clock this morning. And we expect to see steady rain moving in before the noon hour and then steady rain all of the afternoon. So again, right now is your dry window. 55 is the number outside. It's comfortable. Similar scene in Salem, 53 degrees. To the bus stop we go. Portland Public is on vacation, but Vancouver Public and other districts still in class today. 56 degrees. It'll be raining at lunchtime recess after you get on the bus stop being dry, and then raining when school gets out today as well, about 57 degrees. Again, not scattered, widespread hours of steady rainfall coming down. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Rod. Well, happening today, the man accused of shooting and killing 3 people, as well as injuring a police officer in Sandy, is back in court. The suspect, 38-year-old Brian Moore, is charged with multiple counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of his wife, Jenna Overson, her mother, Mary Beth Overson, and their neighbor, Coben McClure. He's also charged with attempted aggravated murder for allegedly shooting and injuring Sandy Police Sergeant Garrett Thornton. Court records also showed that Moore has a lengthy criminal record dating back to 2007 with past convictions for theft, criminal mischief, and delivery of a controlled substance. His indictment is set for 2 o'clock this afternoon.
And more than 100 people in the community of Sandy rallied together to reclaim their sense of safety and security near the site of the last week's tragic triple homicide.
It's been just over a week since those 3 people were killed inside that Sandy home. Libby Dowsett is live this morning with how the community is coming together to remember the victims. Libby, good morning.
Matthew and China, good morning. Now, community members in Sandy are still rattled about that death of the mother, the grandmother, and the teenager. So they thought this walk would help them process that loss. People in Sandy have told us they may be a small town, but they depend on each other and keep each other tight. Sunday, they held a moment of silence at Living Way Fellowship in honor of the victims. The pastor says gathering in the area and walking Evans Street hopefully help people see the street as now safe, as they remember 16-year-old Coben McClure, 37-year-old Jenna Overson, and her 70-year-old mother, Mary Beth Overson, who were shot and killed in a home along Evans Street.
It's easy to show up for the fun stuff, right? But it's not always as easy to show up for the hard stuff. And if it's as easy as taking a walk, you know, that's where we should at least start.
These are literally our neighbors, and so for us the motivation is to love our neighbor, to be present, and to go where they are. And that's the heart of what we're wanting to do.
And a trauma specialist who lives just blocks from where that crime happened says it's important for people to reclaim that street, and especially because this kind of incident can trigger PTSD. So people have to really pay attention to how they're feeling right now and seek help if they need it. Back to you guys.
Libby Dowsett reporting live this morning. Libby, thank you. Well, most of the victims of the Nippon Dynewave incident nearly 2 weeks ago are now home. The Cowlitz County Coroner's Office held a procession along I-5 Saturday to return 9 of the 11 victims to their families. The community paid their respects along the route, with some victims' families watching from over the Lexington Bridge in Kelso. One of those people, Sonia Robbins, who's mourning the loss of her relative, Clinton C.J. Doran.
You're always going to love the person you lost. You're never going to get over it. They're a part of you for the rest of your life.
As for the other 2 victims, Dylan Miller is outside the coroner's jurisdiction, while Gilbert Bernal was already returned home.
Well, containment efforts continue at the site of the Nippon Dynewave facility tank collapse in Longview. This weekend, crews were busy placing sandbags to stop further contamination because of the recent rainy weather. Investigators are still figuring out exactly how and why it happened.
Bob Packwood was once considered a fixture in the United States Senate, and while the reasons he left office followed him long after he resigned, many are still remembering his work after he died Saturday. Packwood was elected to the U.S. House in 1962 and the U.S. Senate in 1968. His most well-known political accomplishments for some were his support for abortion access and a push to preserve the Columbia River Gorge as a national scenic area. 1992 marked the beginning of the end for Packwood's political career after the Washington Post published an investigation detailing numerous accusations of sexual misconduct toward female staffers. The Senate Ethics Committee voted to expel Packwood from the Senate just 3 years later. He was replaced in a special election by current Senator Ron Wyden. Wyden's team released this statement on Saturday, saying in part, quote, "As the Oregonian who replaced Bob Packwood in the Senate and on the Finance Committee, I acknowledge his commendable record on abortion rights and tax reform, but his horrible history is documented in his own diaries will forever overshadow that public record." Meanwhile, the rumors and reports continue. The Blazers continuing their search for their next head coach. NBA insiders Mark Stein and Jake Fisher wrote for the Stein line that they're reporting the Blazers have narrowed down the search to 3 candidates. Acting head coach Tiago Splitter is one of them, along with Timberwolves assistant Mike Nori and Celtics assistant Tyler Lashbrook. Now, there's no timeline for the Blazers to make a decision. The next key date on the NBA calendar is the draft on June 23rd, but the Blazers do not have a pick.
All right, let's talk about the Fire now, because they've been a major surprise for the league. Head coach Alex Sarama earning Coach of the Month for May after the team won 6 of its first 10 games. But the month of June has gotten off to a rocky start. Over the weekend, the Fire were on the road against the LA Sparks, and it was anyone's game at the half. Portland was up by 2. Megan Gustafson finishing with a double-double, but the offense disappeared. The Fire earning just 29 points in the entire second half, and they only shot 2 of 28 from 3. The Fire ended up falling to the Sparks 89-72, marking their 3rd straight loss.
I challenge the group right now in the locker room, and that's the first time I've really had to do that this season. But we know it's because I trust them so much and I know what they're capable of.
In the games that we've won and the games that we're successful, we've stayed together as a team. And so to have a coach come in and hold us accountable, that's what we need. That's the right thing.
The Fire now dropped to 6-7 overall. Next, they play Las Vegas Aces at home on Thursday.
Yeah, not going to get much easier there with the defending champs, but hopefully we can get back on track, Rod.
Yeah, weren't we 8-5? Now we're 6-7.
No, they were 6-4. I think now they're 6-6.
All right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Well, let's go Fire. Come on. All right, here's our satellite radar. We've had cloudiness pushing across most of Oregon and Washington. Radar showing light rain inland, but when you look at the surface reports, I can't find anybody that's saying, hey, we have raindrops yet. So we'll see. But clearly, right here, you do have thickening, lowering cloudiness approaching us, and our Futurecast models show Portland could have the first raindrops of the morning in the 8 o'clock hour. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City, and that does look to be dry with cloudy skies. Temperature being reported as 55. Here are the clouds over the West Hills from the Providence Park camera. Temperature also in the 50s out the door this morning at 54. Here are the other numbers. Comfortable start. This is the dry part of your day. Again, we could have raindrops in here as early as the 8 o'clock hour, then steady rain will be here before the noon hour. And once the steady rain begins, it will be raining steadily all the way into this evening. 54 in Albany, 48 degrees up in Estacada. Weather map does feature clouds and eventually rain this afternoon, marching through central Oregon and even marching out into eastern Oregon. And especially here on the west side, the soak will be very beneficial and widespread. Modeling shows we could get about a half of an inch of rain today in Portland. Temperature may or may not jump up to 60. So once the rain starts, it'll be tough to warm up. Sun and scattered showers tomorrow. Dry Wednesday, 68. Thursday, we start to warm at 77. 82 Friday. And right now, we're eyeing a hot weekend with both days potentially hitting 90 degrees or above. That's your forecast.